What's good, YouTube? We got to talk about the team I told you guys not to sleep on right now in the AFC with a 7-9 record. The Indiana Pacers are coming to you as a team that just believe in each other. They built a long, good foundation. They want you guys to believe in this team. They've been making the playoffs. They've been dominating the way they play. Their style of play still is there. George Hill was injured. David West was injured. C.J. Watson was injured. Roy Hibbert got injured. And they still got an AC right now. Even though their record not that good. With all them injuries and they still barely in the playoffs. Just imagine when Roy Hibbert comes back. Roy Hibbert been playing some good basketball lately. And he been rebounding a whole lot better than he was last year. He putting up 8 rebounds a game. And on top of that, you getting David West back. You know he's gonna be a go-to player on the offensive and on the low block and not on the mid-range shots. Ain't gonna help that defense go from 11th to top 10 when Roy Hibbert gets back. Then you get C.J. Watson. This team has a deep ass bench still. Louis Scola, fucking C.J. Watson, Chris Copeland, Donald Salone on the bench. He been playing out his mind. I can just keep going on and on. This team has a good ass bench. Rodney Stuckey is good too. Now I think about it, he another good player on that bench. And then you got CJ Miles knocking down them 3-point shots. This team gonna be better by the end of the year. I can see this team, like I said, make that video. I can see this team pounding the rock with the shooters with George Hill, CJ Miles, Copeland at the small forward, pounding it in like Memphis do. This team is just like Memphis. It's just that Memphis got better defense because they healthy. But we know this team is 11th right now in defensive points allowed. Without Roy Hibbert, without David West, without George Hill, and they still 11th. That's building the foundation of a championship team and a winning organization. To have the good defense without all of their players, still winning games, show you how good the Indiana Pacers will be. Paul George said he's going to try to make a comeback this year. He's dribbling, he's walking now. He's not clear for practice yet, but he's heading towards that. This team could make a run if Paul George can come back and go back and be decent. Like just that defense, they just need his defense and his ability to get on fast break and get him some easy threes. If he can just do that, this team could be back in the Eastern Conference Finals. People, this defense, this offense still suspect though. But in the East, all they gotta beat is Cleveland and Chicago. How this team is just on with Paul George back. This team is just as good as the Cleveland Cavaliers. This team is just good. They ain't better than Chicago, but they better than Cleveland. They on the same level as Cleveland, Washington, and Toronto to me. With Paul George back healthy, C.J. Watson, and like I said, this bench is deep as hell. They got scorers on the bench, and they got better defense than Cleveland, better defense than Washington. I don't know. They ain't got better defense than Toronto. They might not be better than the Bulls and Toronto Raptors. Don't quote me on that one. Bulls and Toronto on a whole nother level right now. But them other teams, I think they can compete with Toronto defensively. I just think Toronto gonna beat them offensively because they got a lot of people that can break down defenses and get to the paint, get some free throws, which they gonna struggle to do against them. But I think this Indiana team can compete with anybody. I'm saying them, like I said, I predicted them to make the playoffs. Y'all said the Knicks and all these other teams, like the Knicks suck ass. They not gonna make the playoffs, and they like 4-13. They not making the playoffs no time soon, and they gonna keep struggling because they ain't really got no talent. This is a playoff team that plays both sides of the floor. They only had a star player in Roy Hibbert. They don't have fucking Paul George, and they still in the playoff spot right now. They gonna grind out games. They gonna win games. They pass the ball a whole fucking lot. They find the open shooter. They find the open man. The centers are unselfish. David West is unselfish. They believe in the system, and as long as they keep passing the ball and getting good shots, this team gonna score on the best. That's one thing about all everybody going down. It helps the role players gain that confidence. So when they on the bench and they time to come in, like Donald Sloan or C.J. Watson, when they don't get that confidence now, like I can play at this level all the time. When Paul George was down, I was playing like a fucking starter. Let me play my role on this team. They gonna have confidence now since all these injuries happen. So this is gonna help the team be even better because they gonna come together as one. And I think this team can be in the Eastern Conference Finals if Paul George can come back and knock down some threes and play his defense. I think this team can make a run for being back in the Eastern Conference Finals. I don't know if they're going to win against Cleveland. I don't know if they're going to win against Washington. I don't know if they're going to win against Toronto or the Bulls. They ain't going to beat the Bulls. But I can see this team beating the other team, like Cleveland and Washington, in a 7-game series with Paul George back. And Roy Hibbert playing like he playing. David West play like he play. And this bench is deep as hell. And they got shooters too now. And they got that ball movement. Watch out for the Indiana Pacers, people. This team is not a team to sleep on. If this team makes the playoffs and get everybody healthy, you're not going to want to play this team in a 7-game series. Trust me. And like I said, they 17th in rebounding. That's going to go way up. They're going to be top 10 in rebounding by the end of the season. They're going to be top 10 in defense. And they're going to be 15th in points allowed, points per game. They're going to be in the middle of the pack, or at least 12th, when they get all their players back healthy. This team going to be scoring a lot more than 98 points a game. Trust me. Quinn Wade signing out high top Indiana Pacers. Can they make the playoffs? And what would they do in the playoffs? I think this team can be in the Eastern Conference Finals if everybody healthy with Paul George. If he comes back. If he doesn't come back, then this team going to be out. Depending on what seed they get, they could be out in the first round if they get the first seed, the 8th seed. If they get the 6th seed, which I can see them getting, I can see them competing. Depending on who it is. If it's Washington, I can see them competing with Washington. They beat them last year. I can see them competing with them type of teams. And the type of bench they have, and the type of talent they have, and the type of defense they have, they can compete with anybody. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like the video if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and check out my older video. If you like the video, like my older video, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of y'all day. Let me know what you think about the Pacers. Peace.